Cornelius and Anthony Aerial in Toro. Stay tuned. Welcome to Cigar Perspective. Today we are taking a look at the Cornelius and Anthony Aerial in Toro. That is 6x50. It does have an Ecuador, Connecticut wrapper with a very special and unique USA binder and Nicaraguan and Peruvian fillers. So let's cut it up, introduce the flame, and see how it develops today. I'm definitely excited to give the Aerial a try. It's a light to medium body. Right off the bat, let's get some aromas here. Barnyard, actually weird for like barnyard, earthy, a little bit of leather, and like a medium roast coffee. Very interesting aromas right away. Nice open draw right away. Definitely, real nice open draw. A lot of smoke. Earthy, a little bit of leather. Slight sweetness, very slight tobacco-y sweetness. It's not infused. It's almost like a citrusy, tobacco-y sweetness. Very interesting. Very good start. As you can see, lots of smoke. Plenty of good smoke. Very open draw. These will get harder to find. Cornelius and Anthony, unfortunately, is a company that's not making it, and they are having blowout sales on some websites right now for these. But I definitely grabbed a bunch. I really enjoy Cornelius and Anthony's, the ones I've had, and I'm going to continue to try them as much as I can. The price point for a single, usually it's going to be around $7.99 to $10.99 depending on where you get it, and right now online it's going to be way below that during these blowout sales that's going on with these. Very open, very thick smoke, very enjoyable. A little bit of creamy, leathery, that slight citrusy, tobacco-y sweetness. Almost like a slight bread flavor as well in there. But great start. So, while I'm smoking this today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about your working a typical 9 to 5. I know right now with everything going on and people are working, trying to get jobs and things, but I think the biggest thing that you have to remember is if you're going to get ahead and really do well financially in life, you're going to have to come up with some sort of investing. You need to invest. A 9 to 5 job just is never going to really get you that wealthy life that if that's what you're looking for. It'll sustain you. It can easily sustain you, maybe let you live somewhat above average, but I mean, even $20, $25 an hour isn't that much money at the end of the year, and especially after taxes and things. So, and you're always under somebody else's rule, pretty much. Like, recently at my job, I had requested time off 3 weeks earlier, and I was told that it would get taken care of and I shouldn't have to worry about it. Well, apparently my boss went on vacation and never said anything to me about it, and I noticed that my schedule hadn't been changed. And then something happened with some of our training courses and they actually got moved to the following week. And since my time wasn't put in the way it was supposed to be, corporate scheduled me for training on the day one of the days that I had requested off. And now most likely there's a good chance I'm not going to get that day off. They gave me a different day, but because now it's scheduled in there, likely I might not get that opportunity to have it off, which changes my plans. But so your boss and people, they get what they want, they do their thing, but they're not that concerned with a lot of their employees and the people below them and how their lives are affected. And that's what's really frustrating. Not only do you not get paid that well at a lot of jobs, you have to deal with like different schedules that don't necessarily fit your life that well, but you make it work because your life revolves around work. You need money in order to survive, live on your own, pay your bills. So I've just always, thought that you need to have some sort of investments, you need to be trading, you need to do something that is more than just one income stream, one way to make money, or you're just always going to be struggling paycheck to paycheck. You're never really going to get there. Unfortunately, even nowadays, a lot of two-income home families, two-income people that are together still are struggling with all the bills and just the way it is now with prices of things. I mean, currently gas prices are down, which has been really nice lately, but that's going to go back up eventually too. So that's another expense that will become higher. So far, this cigar is great. Very open, creamy, little bit of leather. That little bit of citrusy sweetness is still there. A little bit of wood. And there's a slight coffee note as well. But still open draw, pretty good burn. No problems with the burn at all yet. I'm going to try to purge it here in a few minutes and get some of that ammonia out. But I'm not going to go real deep into the whole investment job thing. I had just recently, I had went through that with my boss. Going on vacation, not mentioning it, not putting in my time that I had requested weeks in advance to make sure that I wouldn't have to worry about it. And now here it is a few days before and he's not here and it's not taken care of, and I'm being scheduled for other things by people above him, which I shouldn't even be on that day, and it wouldn't be scheduled if I wasn't on that day. So it's just frustrating, and it just reminds me why I focus on trading and why I need to be focusing on doing investments and making money outside of a job, because whenever you're working a job, unfortunately, you are under the rule of that job, and if you don't have paid vacation and specific time that you can request and get off for sure, then you are not always going to be able to do things with your family. You're going to miss out on things where you want to be there with people that you love and care about, and obviously that's frustrating. One aspect of my life right now is I feel lucky enough to be able that I do work my job from home and I don't have to go out and be out with everybody while I'm working. I have a safe place to work, not worry about getting sick while I'm working. So that's part, But I'm through the first third. I'm very pleased with it so far. The burn is starting to get just a little weird. Nothing I'm even going to touch up yet. Very open draw. Lots of notes. Lots of complexity coming out of this one. Transitioning Every few puffs seems like something different between the leather, the wood, that little bit of citrusy, tobacco-y sweetness, the creaminess. There's just a lot going on here. And a nice thick smoke. Very nice thick smoke. Very enjoyable. I'm going to take a few minutes, sit back, let this develop a little bit more, and I will be back in a few. Alright, we're back right around the halfway point here. The transitions are still happening, so still good draw, still decent amount of smoke. The burn is pretty good. But basically the sweetness is starting to fade, and there's the spice, there's just a peppery spice that's starting to pick up as the sweetness is fading out. The cream is still there, but it's more of an underlying thing right now, and it's the pepper and wood are going to be the dominant notes once you get to the halfway point. Still pretty good draw. At the halfway point, it seems like it's not quite as thick as it was in the beginning, so we'll see how that develops as we move forward too. Not sure if it's the cigar or if it's something a little different. It should be okay though. Alright, just a couple draws there seemed a little bit weaker than it was, but now we're getting some good thick smoke again. But definitely peppery wood is dominating at the halfway point. That sweetness, that natural citrusy sweetness, and the creaminess from that first third is kind of faded out now. Still a little bit of coffee note. Not as much as it was, but there's still a little bit in there. And definitely a little bit of leather still as well. Go ahead and take this first band off here. So just past the first half here. And it is unfortunate that Cornelius and Anthony, I mean, a brand that you would think has great blends, they have really interesting artwork with their cigars. When you buy a box, you get artwork, like a little piece of artwork, and I haven't had a Cornelius and Anthony cigar that I haven't liked yet. So it's just unfortunate that it seems like they couldn't quite make it. And I think it's interesting too, because I feel like these cigars may be worth something down the line, and the way they're having the blowout sales and selling boxes for 70, 80 bucks, I mean, that's, you have to grab them if you see them, if you get the opportunity to get boxes. I mean, personally, I'm going to try to save a few for down the road, because I know I'm going to want some later. And when you're not able to find them, and the ones you do find are probably going to be marked incredibly high, because it's going to be the only ones you can get. The creaminess seems to be picking up just a little bit again now as we're moving towards the final third. No more sweetness in there, definitely peppery. A lot of pepper coming in after the halfway point. I like this nice open draw. Very open draw, allows you to get a lot of thick smoke. So far, very enjoyable smoke. Gonna get into this second half. I'll be back towards that last third and let you know how it finishes. Alright, we are into the final third, and the dominant note since a little past the halfway point to now is pepper and oak. So with those two notes being dominant, the creaminess has faded out, and that citrusy natural sweetness has completely faded out since the halfway. Little bit of leather, mostly though, and that coffee's definitely faded out too. Those are all through the first half. A lot of transition, a lot of complexity. As you get to this past the halfway point into the final third, you're just gonna notice that the pepper is dominant, the wood, and it's an oak wood that's dominant with a very slight creamy, just very slight underlying cream. And just probably just from the Connecticut, the light wrapper. It's a light to medium body, not a very strong cigar overall. But good draw. Had a few issues with the burn since the halfway point. Nothing major, nothing that I would really say it's a bad cigar over. I give this cigar a 7 out of 10, and I did enjoy it. It's an overall pretty enjoyable cigar. I recommend this to a little bit more seasoned smoker because it starts off very complex with lots of different notes that I feel like a lot of people may enjoy, even more newer smokers. But after that halfway point, once it transitions into that just like pepper oak with just that little underlying cream, it's not quite as enjoyable for a newer smoker, I don't think, as a seasoned smoker. But you never know. Sometimes people do really enjoy that pepper. I'm not big on the pepper. I think if it's holding all that complexity through the first half and then it just transitions to pepper through that final bit of cigar, it's not one of my favorite things. But I give it a 7 out of 10. I have enjoyed this cigar overall. Open draw, a lot of smoke. So, guys and gals, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Be safe. Have a great day. Until next time.